Sometimes it's just too easy. Unfortunately, sometimes doesn't happen often enough. What I'm talking about is this. So Wednesday night into Thursday, I'm flying back across country. And listen, it was just one of those flights that everything possibly could go wrong, did go wrong. It was a flight that was supposed to leave at 8:40 Eastern time. It was already delayed 15 minutes at the outset. We're veering off. There's like 27 planes in front of us. We're in line, and you know how it goes. You're slowly inching forward. You know, you lurch forward, you stop. You lurch forward, you stop. But you note there's some progress because every time you lurch forward and you stop, you hear one of those planes in front of you zoom right down the runway and takes off. So you know you're making a little progress, and sooner or later, that green light's going to be yours. Well, we're lurching forward, and all of a sudden, we're going this way, this way, this way. And all of a sudden, I notice, hey, something's wrong here because we're going this way now suddenly. Captain gets on the intercom, and he says, you know, ladies and gentlemen, we're having a little medical emergency with somebody on the plane, so we're pulling off to a side runway till the paramedics can take care of the issue. And I'm going, hey, listen, I understand. I'm not one of these people that are getting upset because, you know, what's that phrase? There but the grace of God go I. It could be somebody in my family. It could be me that's having one of those medical emergencies someday. So why everybody else is, you know, hemming and hawing and Jesus Christ and SOB under their breath, I'm thinking, come on, people, show a little compassion. We're not all like the President of the United States. Anyway, ends up going back to the gate. I understand. So the couple gets off. They help the woman off. Well, that means we've got to then refuel. Okay. Hey, listen. When I'm 37,000 feet above ground and we're flying 4 hours and 34 minutes, you can take all the time you want to refuel. I got all the time in the world for you guys. Take care of things. You want to serve that ground crew coffee and donuts? Do me a favor. Be my guest. It's on me. Just fuel the plane, make sure that little aluminum tube has plenty of gas as we're going across the country. But then Captain gets back on the plane after the refueling truck. I watch the refueling truck. I'm in the window seat. I watch them pull away. And he says, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. We're just having a little organizational snafu. And I'm going, what's an organizational snafu? And he says that the paperwork is being checked because one of the crew members, we believe he is good to go, but they're checking the paperwork, meaning, of course, you know, they can only fly so many hours. They've got to be off so many hours. They believe they're right. Somebody else is checking. It was like another 50 minutes until they cleared the passenger or the crew member. Well, once they cleared them, it was like door closed. Hey, baby, we're pushing off. We're finally getting underway. We got underway like an hour and a half late. So we're flying across country. And now suddenly, you know, I've been going from like 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. I was going on like 2.5 hours of sleep. Now, I've been living on 3 to 4 hours sleep since I was in high school, so this is nothing new. But at this point, I'm a little tired because when you're flying cross country, the worst thing in this world to be is a handicapper when there's daytime baseball games. Isn't the internet giving us problems online in the plane? I book my flights, making sure that every flight I'm on has internet. A couple of times in my life, the internet has not been working. Last night was one of them, or I should say in the morning. Finally, I get online. Now, we're like 3/4 of the way through the flight, get online, and there's maybe about 60 minutes to go on the flight where I'm going to have internet access. I hurry up and get on. And it was just, as I said, one of those times where something just was too easy. First game on the board, I see the Cleveland Indians hosting the Texas Rangers. I see my man, Corey Kluber, pitching at home. I've been riding him at every one of his starts. True, did he cost me money the last time out because he pitched brilliantly? But the Indians were playing the Minnesota Twins, and it was a series in which they lost all 3 games at home, getting shut out twice and then losing the game that Kluber pitched 4-2. I've often said that I've never understood handicappers who say, oh, that guy last time he pitched, or that team last time they played, or that quarterback last time he threw an interception. That team, that quarterback, that pitcher, they screwed me. I'm not going to bet on them again. I've never understood that misguided logic. Hold it. They screwed you? You placed the bet. I mean, come on. Who are you putting the blame on it? I've never understood that whack job logic. Corey Kluber pitched great last time. The Indians played poorly. It was one of those things. I didn't have to handicap the rest of the card. I looked at my go internet receipt and I thought, well, I just wasted 60 minutes because I handicapped that game in about 5.5 minutes, updated my site in another 5 minutes. Boom. It was done. I put it out as the half price play of the day, the early cash cow, I called it. I hope you cashed in because Corey Kluber finished a phenomenal month of June, which coincided from his return from a month-long stint on the disabled list and showed once again when the guy is healthy, he is one of the top 3 pitchers in the American League. Now, the Indians have had a pathetic season. They've been particularly poor playing at home. But man, when Corey Kluber is on track, when he is healthy, damn, what a dominant pitcher. Now, it also helped yesterday that the Texas Rangers were going with a guy, Andrew Kashner, who was coming off the disabled list, who in his 3 starts prior to going on with a strained oblique muscle. Have you ever had a strained oblique muscle? Hitters take 6 to 8 weeks to recover from a strained oblique muscle. Pitchers coming off the disabled list after a short 2-week stint because of a minor strained oblique muscle, I don't know. I've only had a strained oblique muscle once in my life. I don't know. Is there such a thing as a minor strained oblique muscle? When you're a pitcher and you're contorting your body to try to throw a 90-mile-per-hour fastball, doesn't matter to me. The guy had a 5+ earned run average in his 3 starts prior. Go against. Boom. Texas Rangers lose the game. Thank you, Corey Kluber. Thank you, Cleveland Indians. Okay, let's get to your complimentary play here today. I've got a couple of them for you. I'm going to go with the San Francisco Giants, plus $1.10 at Pittsburgh tonight. And the reason I'm going with the San Francisco Giants is real simple. I saw the pitching matchup, and Johnny Cueto's going for the Giants. Has he pitched well this season? No. But in his last 2 starts, he's finally looked pretty good, working 7 innings in each of those outings against Atlanta on the road and the Mets at home, giving up 3 runs in 14 innings total. But the reason I'm going with him is, even before doing the research, I remembered that as a longtime member of the Reds, he's pitched so well, so frequently against the Pirates. And the numbers bear me out. 19-4 lifetime against the Pirates with a 2.10 earned run average in 29 starts. Now, Jarrett Cole is going for the Pirates, and after a miserable stretch of games in the month of May, he has turned his season around. His last 3 starts, he's got a 1, I can't remember what his earned run average, but I do remember he's given up 3 runs in 20 innings in those 3 starts. And he has pitched well against the Giants in his career. 4 lifetime starts, 1.59 earned run average, and a 3-0 record. But Giants, who have been a horror show this year, especially on the road, where they're 13-30, are coming off a 3-game home sweep of the Rockies. They scored 18 runs in the series. I'm going to go with them solely based on the fact that they're going with Johnny Cueto. I also want to be surprised if this game stays under the posted price. The total is 8 runs. If you play the total, you got to lay 115 to 120. I could certainly see this being a 4-2, 3-2 game. But again, that's just a little extra. I do think the Giants are the way to play this as the slight home dog. So the Giants are going to be the play. The other complimentary play tonight, I like the Arizona Diamondbacks, minus $1.40 at home with Robbie Ray on the hill going against Colorado and John Gray. Now, the Diamondbacks have won each of Robbie Ray's last 7 starts. And in that stretch, he has a 1.01 earned run average. 6 of those 7 starts, they have won by margins of 2 runs or more. So if this number continues to escalate, which it could, and I'll explain why in just a moment, if this number is higher than 145, or if it goes 145, 150, you may consider taking on the run line instead. 140 is about the most that I would go ahead and lay with Arizona straight up here on the money line in this contest. Now, they've won those last 7 starts and scored 42 runs in the process. One of the reasons that I have just a little bit of concern about Robbie Ray is he is one of those guys who has an abnormal home-road split, meaning that he pitches much better on the road than he does on home. 4.47 earned run average and 8 Chase Field starts this season, as opposed to a 1.32 earned run average and 7 road starts. But you got an Arizona team that's 30-12 at home this season, even though they're coming off consecutive losses to the St. Louis Cardinals in Phoenix. I don't like Colorado. They just got swept in a 3-game series at San Francisco. And think of what has happened to the Rockies. A stretch of poor ball that dates back to when they rallied to beat Zach Greinke and the Diamondbacks 4-3 at Coors Field about a week and a half ago. The next 2 days, Arizona scored 26 runs in 2 consecutive blowout wins, right, at Coors. What happens? Rockies then go take on the Dodgers in L.A. They get demolished in 3 straight games there. They go to San Francisco, lose 3 games there, score just 15 runs in that 0-6 start to their current road trip. They've now lost 8 straight games overall. They've only scored 23 runs in those 8 straight games, and they've got a guy in Robbie Ray who's pitching some great ball, and Colorado's also starting John Gray today, who made his last start back on April 13th, and he's been sidelined since then because of foot problems. So again, I like Arizona minus $1.40, but if this line goes up, I would recommend turning the Diamondbacks into a run line dog as the way to play this particular contest. And the other play is going to be San Francisco as a slight underdog at plus $1.10 on the money line at Pittsburgh. That'll do it for today, and I'll talk to you again on Saturday, guys, when we do this one more time. Good luck, everybody.